You need to have a beard to look like an adult. You're 30 plus and have a baby face if you don't have a beard. Honestly, like, what's the beard equivalent for women? Because I have that problem too. I walk around, they're like, what school do you go to? And I'm like, I haven't stepped foot in a school in a long time. A lot of the time I go places and the server acts a certain way toward me. Then they ask for my ID, you know, like someone at the table's drinking. I hand the ID and they go, I'm so sorry, ma'am, because they realize I'm older than them. Like, a lot of the servers think I'm like younger than them, and I'm like, okay, I'm probably much older than you, but you know, clothes? Question mark. Actually, yeah, the way I dress changes the perception of me a lot, a lot. If I just go out in a t-shirt, everyone's like, that's a baby. But then if I wear like clothing that fits me, the attitude does change a lot. Makeup? Yeah, but I hate makeup. I hate it. I hate it. That's the problem. I hate it. I just, rah, yeah, rah. I hate it, man. Sorry, I know it's like standard fare for a lot of people. I think it looks fine. I just hate wearing it. And I like to touch my face. When you put something on your face and you can't scratch it, because if you scratch it, you will scratch lines of makeup off. That sucks. Yeah, and it's expensive. It's so unnecessarily expensive. And it doesn't really change your face that much when you're doing the normal basic stuff. I'm not going to hide my dark circles. They're permanent. And that's okay, you know? That's it. Like, you get what you get is how I feel, you know? So I don't like wearing it, so I'm gonna always do myself a disservice with that, but whatever. Whatever, man. I think it's fine for people who like it as a hobby. Yeah, you know, people can like it. I'm just saying I hate it. I don't mean I hate it as in if I see someone with makeup, I'm like, grr, I hate that. I mean like on me. I don't like wearing it, you know? I'm a big hater. I think the only thing I like is like lip color. And even then, not like a really thick like a lipstick or a thing that can like easily come off. Very, very annoying. Very annoying. Very annoying. But I think I like that because it's something that doesn't make you look super different. It changes the vibe, but it doesn't change you, right? So I like that. Stuff like stuff that's changing the shape of features, I never liked. I don't know. I always had this really weird, uncanny feeling if I put on makeup that really altered the way I looked. And then I looked in the mirror. I would look at myself and be like, that's not me. And I would get this weird feeling and I just would be like, and I would get the urge to like take it off. So I never really did any makeup that like made me look very different. I didn't like that. It's one thing to want to look a little better, but I don't know. Some people really like it because some people, they just don't get that feeling. They're just like, oh, this is fun. And I was always like, you know, that must be really nice. It must be really nice. I don't know. I never like felt like that. I always felt like weird when I saw myself like altered like that. I don't know. Wasn't a fan. Better to meet up with a guy with your natural face. You can meet a guy without makeup and then you can wear it to spice things up. I mean, that's true, right? Like, it can't get any worse. Right? You're like, it doesn't get any worse than this, man, as you show up with no makeup on. This is me at my worst. It only goes uphill. That's a good point, but to be honest, a lot of people will see a girl with normal things like dark circles, and they'll be like, oh my god, are you tired? You look sick, or, you know, whatever. I don't know. Got your makeup done professionally as a bridesmaid, and it was so strange. I was a bridesmaid for a friend a while back, and I had the makeup artist that I was with. They were like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't like altering myself very much. Enhancing is fine. I don't like altering. So don't do anything that's just like not already kind of there. And she was like, bet. And she did a lot, but she did a really good job in exactly what I was asking for. She did great. She did great. I looked like myself photoshopped. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't look like a different person at all. I looked like myself perfectly photoshopped. She was so good. She was so good. And I was like, wow, this is the first time I've had one that's actually like, that got it. You know? She was great. Still didn't make me want to wear it though, because I couldn't touch my face. But it was like one of those few where I looked in the mirror and I was like, it feels a little odd still to look at me because I look different, but I don't look like a different person, you know? So it was nice. It was nice. But she was like a really good makeup artist, you know? Most of my friends or anything, if they're like, let me do your makeup, I'm just like, no, don't touch my face, no. Said after the 4th year of college and 10th class together, my design class, I saw every iteration of lady, I think. 80% were pretty, 20% were just tired. I think a lot of guys don't think deeply about this stuff and don't care. Like a lot of girls will say this thing that is very true, where they'll talk about like their boyfriends or their friends or whatever, not realizing when they are and aren't wearing makeup sometimes because they visually like don't see the difference. And I was like, isn't that an indicator that you don't really like need to do much? To honestly, like you really don't, because they'll put on makeup and they'll do quote unquote natural makeup where they put on a layer of stuff that makes them look better, but it's not very different, right? It's just better. And they'll wear that, and a lot of their guy friends will be like, oh my God, you look so nice with your natural face, because they didn't put on like thick eyeliner, you know, or like things that are very clearly like makeup. And a lot of girls will be like, yeah, the guys don't realize. And I'm like, then just don't wear much. Like I think that proves, right, that you don't have to worry about it too much. I don't know. Depends on what though. I think covering dark circles makes sense because it makes you look tired. I guess. But a lot of the other stuff, I'm like, I don't think anyone notices this. You know? You said you don't think deeply about it. You don't have a significant other, but you have friends who have been like, notice anything different. And you're like, I don't know. Yeah. I'll be honest. When I was working a lot and I would have to go to meetings and things, I would definitely do like a little dark circle, like lightening just the tiniest bit, you know, a couple things here and there. And if I did it or didn't do it, the guys in the room wouldn't notice. It was just the women, for the most part. If I didn't wear makeup one day, they'd be like, you look a little tired. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, I don't know, concealer on. They'd be like, oh, okay. You know, like they would notice. None of the dudes would ever point it out. They'd be like, you look the same. And I'm like, all right. So I just stopped. If I did makeup, it would be for myself. Yeah, I think that's good. I will say in the workplace, there was something to be said for like, the better you looked, the better you got treated, for sure. And I didn't feel like I got treated poorly if I didn't have makeup on, but I felt like if I looked a little better, just a little bit, I would get treated a little better. There'd be more positives. So it's a shame that it's like that, but you know, it's a good thing to be done. But that was a lot less on makeup. It was a lot more on the clothing worn and how you do your hair more than anything else, to be honest. That was really the thing that mattered, was what you were wearing and how good your outfit was. That plus doing your hair did like 95% of the heavy lifting on looking good for a meeting. And then if I did makeup, it was like it barely a difference. It was marginal. So I think that's really the important thing, honestly, is to just make sure your outfits look good for a workplace and like people want to take you seriously. Everything else didn't matter as much. There is functional makeup though for work. It just is what it is. Yeah, exactly. There are times when it makes sense. Ooh, you think you got treated differently because you looked painfully straight as a designer? You know, that's true. In that industry, it's very different. I wonder. I wonder how much of an effect that actually has. I didn't think of that. I know it's like that in fashion. The more done up you are, the better. If I don't moisturize myself, my face will just crack in half and fall off.